was last November when KCRG TV9 first learned of a sexual abuse case at Starry Elementary in Marion. A release from Marion police said a 15-year-old student was charged with inappropriately touching an elementary student.
But it gave little details, leaving parents and us with a lot of questions. KCRG TV9's chief investigative reporter Josh Scheinblum went digging for answers and found some disturbing details.
To say details were few, and that first and only public statement on this case is an understatement. The release from Marion police only says school staff contacted police about a sexual abuse allegation at the end of October, and that after an investigation, a 15-year-old student was charged with 3 counts of sexual abuse. Since then, school officials have been tight-lipped, referring nearly all questions back to the Marion Police Department. It's a mantra you'll see the superintendent of the Marion Independent School District is sticking to.
What's going on here?
We're educating students.
We told Marion Independent School District Superintendent Chris Dyer why we wanted to interview him well before we ever sat down in early February.
Well, what's going on with this situation that happened?
Which situation are you referring to?
We were referring to allegations made by authorities that at least 3 5-year-old kindergartners were sexually abused at Starry Elementary School during school hours repeatedly from August through October last year at the hands of a Marion High School student participating in a volunteer program overseen by the school district. According to court documents, the teen responsible, police believe, is 15-year-old Logan McMurrin.
We're talking about multiple sexual assaults involving children 5 years of age.
Josh?
Which was one of the students that went to your high school under your volunteer program. Where was the teacher? Where was the supervision? How did this happen so many times?
Thanks very much for coming over and visiting with me today. I'd be really happy to talk to you.
How did this happen? Don't you think parents deserve an answer?
Yeah, I would be really happy to talk with you about anything that you'd like to talk about. But you have to recognize that this child is protected by Iowa law.
The law he's referring to is a relatively new one in Iowa. It took effect last summer and keeps most juvenile court records secret. But because McMurrin is accused of sexual abuse, the law says those records are public, even for minors. That's how I-9 was able to go to the juvenile court to get documents regarding the case. That's the only way we learned McMurrin's name, that there were multiple victims and their ages, and that the abuse had been going on for months. Aside from the court documents, neither the police nor the district ever included that information in public statements about the case. We also learned exactly what McMurrin is accused of doing, and it's too graphic to share on television.
I should not have to go look for answers. I should have had them helping me through this whole process.
We shared what we knew with a Starry Elementary parent who says her child was one of those molested by McMurrin. We'll call her Judy. She's asked us to hide her identity.
They failed to protect her in that classroom. That teacher failed to be a teacher and watch over her.
Judy believes school officials not only failed to keep her child safe, but were also slow to tell parents what was going on and still haven't fully explained the details.
There really wasn't much communication, but the communication that there was yes. That they couldn't talk about because of the ongoing investigation.
Judy is not the only one who had been kept in the dark. The superintendent says that letters were not sent home to parents at any time at either the elementary school where the alleged attacks had happened or at the high school where the alleged attacker had attended.
We have been directed by the Marion Independent School District's Police Department to cease with our communications.
We asked the Marion Police Department why it gave those instructions. They declined an on-camera interview, saying they did not see the benefit of an interview. But spokesman Lieutenant Scott Elam gave us a written statement saying in part it allowed, quote, us to speak to the victims and witnesses to provide their own recollections of events. Upon the conclusion of the investigation, the suspect was arrested and taken to juvenile detention. At that point, the Marion Police Department issued a public release regarding the arrest, and quote, that release was sent out November 23rd, but Marion's superintendent still isn't talking.
So what happened here?
I think you need to probably go back again, and you need to talk with the Marion Police Department, who has an open investigation in this matter. if you'd like to have information.
It's worth noting police say the district banned McMurrin from campus as soon as the allegations arose in October. He is still in juvenile detention and has not been back in class. Police officers made themselves available to answer parents' questions after a school board meeting shortly after McMurrin's arrest in November. School officials have reported taking similar steps. The teacher who oversaw McMurrin is no longer in the classroom. She's currently out on paid administrative leave. McMurrin has not yet entered a plea and is awaiting trial. He's facing 3 counts of sexual abuse. And while we've reached out to his attorney for comment, we're still waiting to hear back at this time. The other big question parents had is how this could happen. We asked to see what the school district is doing to stop something like this from happening again. We'll share that with you tomorrow on the KCRG TV9 News at 10.